On this episode of the Chris Meadows Show, it's time to get out and vote, folks.
It's time for the Chris Meadows Show. Greensboro, Summerfield, Jamestown, Oak Ridge, Stokesdale, and all of Guilford County. Get ready. Chris Meadows is coming to you live right now.
Good day again, my friends, and welcome to the Chris Meadows Show. Early voting has started in Greensboro and across Guilford County. Have you voted yet? There are no excuses not to vote unless you are no longer alive. Now, the Democrats might try to have you vote if you're dead, but the other side of the aisle plays by the rules, so there is no excuse not to vote. This past week in Greensboro and over the weekend, we have seen some gutter politics, if you will. There are two candidates in Greensboro that have had their signs vandalized with the term racist written across them. And I know both of these people, and I don't know any occasion that they have demonstrated that they are racist, really, in any way. So, whoever is vandalizing these signs, I don't think they know the candidates. And if any current Greensboro City Council people watch this show, why hasn't this individual been arrested yet? That's my question to the mayor of Greensboro. Why hasn't this individual been arrested? The police have spoken to one of the candidates I know of, and the other candidate has told the police, I believe, who this person is. They know who it is. They know where he lives. They have seen this person's Facebook post and social media post. So they certainly know who it is. This person confessed on Facebook. It was very happy and proud of writing racist on these candidate signs. So, Madam Mayor, why hasn't this individual been arrested? It's from my understanding that one of the candidates has met with the police and they said, well, they're going to go have a conversation with them. Well, I hope they take their handcuffs with them and arrest them. What he has done is against the law. It's vandalism, taking down campaign signs. It may be a misdemeanor, but I don't know that vandalism is a misdemeanor. Maybe depend on the cost of it. Not sure, but it is certainly against the law. So I'd suggest that current city council members quit talking and tell the police to take some action and arrest this individual. We can't have that in today's politics. It's gotten ugly, and we need to stop it.
You're listening to The Chris Meadows Show. Join us on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify at The Chris Meadows Show.
Welcome back. So now we're going to talk about some candidates across Guilford County, and we'll start with Summerfield. Summerfield is an easy one, in my opinion. The mayor is running unopposed, and he's highly qualified. His name's Lee Haywood. That should be easy, but vote for Lee Haywood for mayor in Summerfield. There are 4 town council candidates in Summerfield. There are 2 spots available. 2 incumbents are running, Janelle Robinson and John Doggett. There are 2 other candidates. In my opinion, and this is not a political party opinion, but in my opinion, There are three qualified people in that race. I mentioned Janelle Robinson, John Doggett, and the other qualified person, in my opinion, his name is Kyle Stalls. I'm not going to make an endorsement or suggestion other than I believe you can pick two people or vote for one, but the top two go on. Any of those three, in my opinion, would be a good selection for Summerfield. And then we'll move on to Oak Ridge. That race is getting unnecessarily nasty. There are two seats available and I believe 5 people running. And the choice is extremely clear there. You'd have two very, very experienced individuals. One is a current town council member. Her name is Ann Schneider. And the other person is Adrian Eckenrod. Uh, there is no close third, in my opinion. Those two are the most qualified people running in the Oak Ridge Town Council race. So, pick there is Ann Schneider and Adrian Eckenrod. We'll move on real quick to Jamestown. Um, there are no what I call conservative Republicans running in the town council race. So we're not going to make a pick. There are a couple libertarians I think would be good picks for Jamestown. The most important race, in my opinion, is the mayor's race. The two people on the ballot in Jamestown are two lefty Democrats, and frankly, for Jamestown, they are both really bad choices. You have a very good choice as a write-in candidate. His name is Greg Pittman. He's a local business owner, longtime resident. He's been there over 20 years. And so in Jamestown, you're going to have to do a little work on the ballot. You need to bubble in his name, fill in the bubble, and then you have to write in Greg Pittman. That's in Jamestown. So when you're voting in Jamestown, write in Greg Pittman for mayor. Okay. And so we'll talk about the Greensboro races here in just a moment. We're going to take another quick break and get out a notepad because we will be talking about all the districts in Greensboro and the mayor's race. And you'll need to write these down. So we'll be right back.
You're listening to The Chris Meadows Show. Join us on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify at The Chris Meadows Show.
Welcome back. Now we're going to talk about the Greensboro City Council races. And I mentioned early on that a couple of the candidates had their signs vandalized by a nut job, a liberal, left wing, radical nut. And so hopefully it won't hurt these candidates, but we'll see. And the police should be on top of this and arresting this person. But we'll see about that too. So in the mayor's race, we have, I said it last time, I'll say it again. The best candidate for mayor is Robbie Perkins. His opponent is someone I don't think you should vote for. Robbie Perkins is the best candidate by far. He cares about the future of the city and the business development, and that should be your pick. This past weekend, we raked some leaves, and they piled up, and we filled the stupid can only one time, and we still got lots of leaves. And I talked about this in the last show. You can blame Mary Kay Abuzader for that. When you're raking leaves over the next few weeks and they're piling up and no one's picking them up on the street like they used to, and you have to fill that can that you can only fill one time, um, you know who to blame and you know who not to vote for. That would be Mary Kay Abuzader. So you vote for Robbie Perkins in the mayor's race. Moving on to the at-large race, I believe the best qualified person for that race is Richard Beard. There are 6 people in the general election. The top 3 that will move on, the top 3 vote getters in the general election will move on to be seated on the city council. The 3 fewest vote getters in the primary that went on to the general, there's not one of those 3 that should be sitting on the city council. They are all left-wing radicals. They don't like the police department. They don't support police department, and I don't know how you can not support the police department and still call for safety and try and do something about the crime in this city, and then in another breath say we don't need the police, defund the police. It just doesn't make sense. There is no common sense in that narrative. So the pick for at large is Richard Beard. And we'll move on real quickly to districts 1 and 2. I'm not picking anybody in either one of those. I feel sorry for the people in District 1 and 2 because your candidates are horrendous. They are radical activists. Again, they don't want any police around. They want to defund the police. And it's absolutely ridiculous. So, my friends in District 1 and 2, best of luck to you. I don't know what you're going to do. In 4 years, maybe you'll have better candidates. Moving on to District 3, I'd like to touch on something I mentioned on the last show. I picked, and I'm supporting Zach Matheny in that race. He is by far the most qualified person in that race. I got a couple emails about that, wanting to know why I picked Zach over the other person. I picked him because he's the most qualified. Some people may not care for him, but let me just assure you that his opponent is a radical activist who is another anti-police person, similar to the ones in District 1 and 2. I'd rather have Zach on the city council than his opponent any day of the week. It's no contest. The pick should be Zach, and that's all there is to it. If you want a far lefty on the city council, you can pick the far lefty that's going to vote to raise your taxes, vote against supporting the police, and just radical nonsense. You have a choice. It's the wrong choice, but you do get a choice. Moving on to District 4, Nikki Smith is the best choice in that district. He was one of the candidates that got his sign vandalized by a lefty nut job. It's sad that people are out there doing this, and I've said it already in this show. I'll say it again. The person should be arrested. They know who it is. They know where he lives. They know where he works. He's confessed on social media. All they need to do is go pick him up. But Nikki Smith is a longtime resident of Greensboro. He's lived in District 4 for over 40 years. He's had businesses here in Greensboro for over 40 years. He is the right person for District 4. Moving on to District 5, it's time for a change in District 5. The current councilwoman there needs to go. She has not been very friendly to the police force over the years. She votes for every tax increase that you've gotten. The pick in District 5 is Jeanette Davidson Mayer. She's really the only choice, so certainly she is the best choice for District 5, and I support her wholeheartedly. Um, it's time for a change in District 5, so please pick Jeanette Davidson Mayer. I touched on taxes just a bit. For those that live in Guilford County, you are probably getting a huge property tax increase next year, thanks to our county commissioners. And in the past, the Greensboro City Council has followed suit and raised our city taxes. It happened on a massive scale in 2022. I think of the 9, 2 people voted against the tax increase, maybe 3. But overall, our taxes, property taxes, went up 30%, give or take a couple percent. My personal property taxes at my home went up about 27%. That's a huge jump. They are predicting Guilford County taxes alone next year to go up 47%. I don't know how much the Greensboro City Council will raise your taxes on top of that if we elect the wrong people. I assure you, if none of these people I just mentioned get elected, you're going to have a massive property tax increase. And some people think that, well, that's only for people that own their houses, which is not the case, or it only happens in a certain part of town. That's not the case either. All property, residential, commercial, and industrial properties will be getting property tax increases. Now, if you own your home and you're paying a mortgage or not paying a mortgage, you're going to have to write a check. If you have a mortgage, you'll have to write a bigger monthly check to cover those property taxes. That takes money out of your pocket and prevents you from doing some things that you would much rather do with that money, whether it be eat out more or go to a movie or travel or whatever the case. You'll be able to do less of what you want to do because you're paying more to the city and county government. Now, renters might say, well, I rent, I don't own, I don't have to worry about it. That's not the case either. Do you believe your landlord is going to eat those taxes? No. No, your landlord is not going to eat those taxes. Your landlord is going to pass them on to you and raise your rent. And some people that live paycheck to paycheck are really going to get hurt. So when you're in the voting booth, think about that. If you're living paycheck to paycheck and your taxes or your rent goes up 10, 15, 20% because property taxes went up, how are you going to pay that? You're going to have to go to something less, try and break a lease. Good luck with that. The landlord will get their money. Okay. So quit voting for these radicals that want to raise your taxes and give it to silly nonprofits that don't do anything except pad the pockets of the people that run them. It's ridiculous to think like that, in my humble opinion. But no one wants to pay the government more money. And if you don't vote for the people that I laid out a minute ago, you're going to get a big property tax increase, and your annual and monthly expenses are going to go up. So count on it. All right. Early voting has started at only one location, downtown courthouse in Greensboro. But on Thursday, October 23rd, you'll have 5 more places you can early vote. These places are easy to get to. I would suggest one of the easiest, I think, is Lewis Center. We're at the corner of Pisgah Church Road and Battleground, or right off the corner there. It's very, very easy to get to. Burr Mill Clubhouse, um, north side of Greensboro, really, really easy. In Jamestown, there's one location, Jamestown Town Hall. The Greensboro Coliseum has early voting. Of course, downtown Greensboro at the old courthouse, you can still vote. And in the east part of Greensboro, the Brown Recreation Center, um, easy to vote there. But you're going to have to vote. If you want to save Greensboro, lessen the crime, fix the traffic problem, you're going to have to vote, and you're going to have to vote for the right people. There are basically 5 open seats in on the city council, and we can replace them with the right people, the smart people. And so I want you to get out and vote. Okay, that's really all I got to talk about today. Again, email me right there. And if you have any questions, you want me to talk about something in particular, I certainly will. And thanks for spending a few minutes with me.